Welcome to Generation Dragons episode 32. It's been a long time. But Steve, good to see you. I mean, I saw you last week for your birthday and for the Red Blacks game that we painfully lost. But it's been a long time since we saw our people that listen to us and watch us.
It's been a
Cheers,
while.
Steve.
Red Blacks game was great. Thank you for taking it there. Cheers.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. I take that back. The game sucked, but the event was awesome. And thank you for taking me there.
Yeah. The game was brutal. But yes, like you said.
But the game you went to last night was pretty awesome. Or a couple nights ago.
Yeah, it was a good game. It was a good game. $5 beers, man. It makes every game better.
Oh, really? You had it again?
Yeah, they had it again.
Awesome. Yeah, that made a big difference.
Yeah.
We were doubling up on them like crazy.
Yeah, it was a little chilly and a little cold, but we were dry from most of our body,
Yeah, I was going to say most of our body. Ponchos left my arms and my feet wet.
Yeah, well, yeah. My shoes were still wet a few days after. But anyways, guys, thank you for tuning in. We're just catching up as usual. Everyone, we appreciate you watching and following us on the YouTube and on the podcast platforms that you prefer to listen to, be it Apple Podcasts or Spotify or any of the other good stuff. Anywho, Steve, it's been a while. We wanted to get one out so we could just catch up, see what's going on. Everyone, we're sorry it's been so long. We, like we said, life kind of gets in the way. Us being dads and got families and all that other good stuff. And this is only really, for shits and giggles. We just didn't have the time to do it. So thanks for waiting, and we're back. So we'll get this out to you hopefully sooner rather than later, and I'm sure we will. But thanks again. So Steve, again, hey, how's it going? What have you been up to, man?
Oh,
nice gear shirt.
Thanks. You can bear it wrong side, damn camera angle. My brother-in-law's ex-wife used to call this the scary shirt. It's that old. It's from Gears of War 2.
Wow.
But yeah, went out of town for a while. That was part of the reason why we couldn't connect. Went and met my wife in Toronto, or I should say Ajax, outside of Toronto. She's up there for some work, and I kind of joined her and took advantage of the hotel room while she was at work just to catch up on some reading, a bunch of comics, played some games, took off on the evenings, did some stuff on the weekends. We'll get into that in a little bit. And then came back Tuesday to get back to work and into things. But that was kind of my extended birthday week. You kind of kicked it off with the football game. And then I took off right after that to Toronto and just continued from there. What about you, man? What have you been up to?
I haven't been up to much. Working, because I now support our friends in the La Belle Provence. So it's been stressful, but other than that, it's been pretty good. Work and playing games. I've been trying to get my games going with Metroid Dread coming out on October 8th. I've been just trying to replay. Been trying to replay all the Metroid 2D side scroller goodness. Yep. I mean, I love the Prime games, and I the Prime games are probably one of my top rated games, but I don't have enough time for that, so I've been jumping back into that. Finished Metroid Zero Mission, the remake of the OG Metroid last week. Been working on Super Metroid, and holy shit, that game is frustrating. Just like I mean, I like it. It's a good game.
I saw it recently on a top list of hardest games on the SNES. So I was like, oh, that's funny you brought it up.
I'm using my wireless Switch Super Nintendo, like my SNES wireless SNES controller for the Switch, the one that you got from Nintendo Online. I bought a couple of those, right? So I've been using that. I'm like, oh my god, man! Like, think F for the saves, like the emulator saves versus like having to use the save stations in the game, because using the save stations in the game, I think I'd lose my shit. I'd be like, nope, I'm sorry, this game, I'm done with this game. But I've been just like, okay, suspend mode, save the suspend, and get back into it after, because I get too frustrated. So I've been trying to get through that. I'm near the end from the guides I've been reading, but then I'm not sure, so we'll see. It's been a while since I played Super Metroid to the end, like a long ass time, so don't really remember. So I've been playing that, and then I got to play Metroid Fusion. Great stuff is that I bought it on the Wii U, Metroid Fusion. So then I ended up buying one of those rip-off Game Boy Advance cartridges from China. Um, but hey, it's totally legal because I owned the digital version of
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
So now I'm
I'm
just
a
backing.
supporter of that, right?
I'm just backing it up. I won't resell it to somebody for like $70. But anyway, so I bought it for the Game Boy. So I'll bring that with me tomorrow while I go see Venom. Let There Be Carnage at noon by myself in the movie theater.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I'll be knee deep in customer calls and following up on crap I don't want to deal with tomorrow. So
Well,
yeah.
we talked as our top, our what the things that made us conversation that kind of we had a few episodes back. Venom and Carnage being my top two favorite comic book characters. Hey, you know what? Why not? No, why not go see it? The fans have been raving pretty good about it, but then you got your ridiculous people who get paid to review stuff, and they are shitting on it. But fuck those guys.
Dude bros.
Dude bros, man. No, they're not the dude bros. The dude bros are the ones that like it. It's the other ones. It's the other ones. Uh, but anyways, no, I'm looking to go see the movie tomorrow.
So I'm pretty excited. It's actually about Metroid. I kind of wish I pre-ordered it now, just with all the hype and stuff like that. So I think it's a game I'm going to have to get, depending on what you tell me about it. But it's going to be like, yeah, this is a game I get now, or is it a game I can wait and get and still enjoy it? But I don't know. I've always been a big Metroid fan as well. So
that's it, right? I'm a pretty decently large Metroid fan. So I've been trying to again. The boys at EB pulled through for me. I guess GameStop pulled through for me with getting me.
Oh God damn it! Why did they change the name? But anyway,
the special edition of it. So I'm pretty excited about that. But yeah, no, I'll definitely let you know. It's cool because it's the same developer that redid Metroid 2, the one that was for Game Boy back in the day. They redid it on the 3DS. Samus Returns. So it's the same. That same developer is working with Nintendo to build out Metroid Dread. So I think I'll like it. From what I've seen, it looks pretty cool. Story wise, be interesting to see how they go. And it's cool. The one thing I like about Metroid versus like when I was younger and I didn't play it as much, but when I started playing it on GameCube, like Prime, to get just to get the history and the all the information within the game, like where Samus from, like right. I got into it so deep that I went and looked for a translation of the Magnet that they released in Japan in the 90s for it, right? I had to go and I went and bought all the Nintendo Powers so I could read the Metroid comics in the Nintendo Power over the 5 issues, right? So I'm pretty jazzed about it, so I'm really looking forward to it. But anyways, that's what I've been doing, and then playing Kenna Spirit.
Oh yeah, we always have problems saying that one.
It's good, man. It's really it is a really good game. If you could get
I gotta get myself a PS5.
or you could play it on Steam or Epic.
I gotta get a PS5, man. I'm so close there with the budget.
Yeah,
it's just
no,
it's gonna happen. Although, have you seen the differences in the new PS5s from the original release ones?
Well, I've heard that they made the heat sink smaller and stuff like that.
Yeah, I watched the teardown. And like they did everything, like they weighed them as they teared them down, and because they didn't know what was the difference was, and until they got deep into it, and they're like, "Oh, that's it. The heat sink's so much smaller. Not so much smaller, but it's quite a bit when you see them side by side." So, and then they did temperature checks, and the temperature it was hotter, but barely.
Yeah, so there was definitely a heated discussion around that because
where'd you see that?
I know. So I don't know. I don't follow the guy, but he's some sort of YouTuber,
like Linus Text Tips guy. Yeah, it's probably the video I watched.
Yeah, probably. He was
It's
like,
not
this,
line. It's
but this, whatever, same kind of thing where it's just
yeah.
he's not technical. He has no engineering background, but he just tears it down and does all that stuff. So he got one of the PS5s, did the
Mm-hmm.
tear down, and it was like, no, this isn't this can't be right. Why would they do that type of thing, right? Like kind of bashing Sony for doing it, but then
Okay.
not being an engineer and understanding that technology behind it of like, okay, so like that 1 or 2 or that 0.2 degrees that you're reducing or increasing the temperature is not going to affect the whole system overall. Not knowing that kind of information when you're doing that teardowns, but then telling people that it's not good. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of biased, right? Like because you and I don't know. Let's
It'd be
think of
like you and
something.
I tearing it down.
Exactly. But that's it. You and I tearing it down, or you and I tearing down.
And I would too, though. That's just it. I would probably be doing the exact same thing that guy did, but I wouldn't tear it down unless I had to. By the way, it'd be
Or
because I had to
pay. I
fix it.
mean, that guy he's got like 700,000 followers on subscribers on YouTube, or
Yeah,
1 million subscribers.
just
So
like us. We're
yeah.
such influencers.
Oh, if you've been listening this far, thank you for all 50 subscribers that we have now. So
Yeah, yeah. Little clap. I just saw
um,
your Red Black's pajamas. Nice.
hey, business up top and relax in the bottom.
Oh
Anywho,
man.
yes.
So I got to
Yes.
talk about something when you're ready, just
Yeah.
because it
Yeah.
was
No, go
amazing.
ahead, man. Go ahead.
So when I was in Ajax, Toronto, long story short, the highlight of the trip was going to medieval times. That place was just so much fun. Yelled my head off in that, but that's not something really getting into the show. Just if you go to Toronto and you want something to do and you can go to medieval times, great for families, a lot of fun, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, had a great time. Our night one, I got my wife a flower from the night from all my yelling and just anyway, moving on, and I broke my mic. I went to this game store I found in Ajax called We Got Games, and I just had time to kill. I was waiting actually for my wife to finish work to meet up with her, and they were coming to clean the hotel room. So I'm like, yeah, that's it. I better get up and move around, do stuff. Got out, got exploring. I just typed in, game stores near me. Found this store, went there. I walked in and I was floored. This store had like everything I would want, like anything from like CDI to Neo Geo, old like stand-up demo machines for Sega Genesis, Nintendo Power racks of them. Like it was crazy what they had there. Like they had walls of Nintendo and like the old systems. Like who doesn't actually in these old stores these days?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just I was floored. I didn't walk out of there with anything. It was pretty tapped for budget with all the money we spent on the weekend. My wife would have killed me because anything I would have bought in there would have cost me an arm and leg for stuff I want. But amazing store for what it has. They definitely know what they got. They definitely know what it's worth. So don't go in there thinking you're going to like a flea market and going to score a deal. They're not going to rip you off with the prices I was seeing, but it's not like it's worth what it's worth is what kind of store it is. And but it's be the type of store like I need a 3DO, I need a Jaguar, I need the Jaguar CD. I'm gonna go there, I'm gonna pay market value of what it is today, but I'm getting it. That's the type of store it is. And I was amazed. I was talking to the owner, and he has 2 stores. One's in I think Scarborough.
Mississauga.
Is it Mississauga? I thought it was Scarborough.
Mrs.
Either way,
yeah, no, yeah.
You can look it up.
It's Toronto. We don't care. It's the
Toronto.
center of the universe. Whatever.
Right. But yeah. Anyway, the guy has a great store. He has no online presence, so he does everything. If you were to buy, he will. You have to call basically and order it, and he'll ship it to you. And they do e-transfer, but there's no online presence because he kind of runs it himself and just doesn't have the time. It's not that big. It's not almost like a mom and pop store kind of idea, but he's got quite the collection. And So anyway, that was pretty awesome. So That said, if there's anything you want, my wife is still there, so let me
Well,
know.
no, after you told me the price of his Mario Kart Double Dash, that
Kind of put the
hurts.
nail in the coffin for that idea.
Yeah, that just, I mean, if I'm going to pay that price, I'm going to go to someone local here in Ottawa, in Ottawa, and they're like 10 or $15 cheaper, and they're still more expensive than what it'd be online. Anyways, no, but yeah, no, it's cool. The photos you sent me, it's just you walk it.
Yeah, I remember your text back. I just like check this out, and I said I think I photobombed you with like 20
Yeah,
photos, and you're like, holy shit! And then we got talking prices, and you're like, ah.
yeah, no,
So
no. That's the kind of place you do like all that collection. Make a museum, man. Do a museum. Do a pop up museum on that shit. And that's what I think we need. And I think like that's. I mean, you and I, our collection is strong, but we don't have a bunch in box games of the
that's
old
just
stuff.
it.
You know what I mean? Like, however, I'm talking about
So I
inbox games. Go ahead, Steve. Because I was
no,
going
I
to go
don't want
totally
you to lose yours
sidetracked.
because mine's going to segue into something bigger. So you just mentioned what you were going to say.
No, well, I was going to segue into something else. So, talking about inbox games. So Game Freak. Game Freak is the developer of Pokemon, and Pokemon is $1 billion industry. They also make other games. So, Little Big Hero, I think it's called Little Hero. Yeah, Little Big Hero. Anyways, they had released it on the Switch a few years ago, but just digitally. They eventually released a physical version of it, but I had bought it on the digital because I was like, you know what, I'm going to support Game Freak because they make Pokemon, and why not let them expand their horizons outside of Pokemon, right? So I was at EB today with Kathy on her day off. We went into EB looking at stuff. Used copy of their collector's edition of the physical release of this game. Had everything. Man, the CD is still sealed. Art book, like I
Somebody
was
had
just
grabbed
like,
it.
oh yeah, 100%. I
I was going to
grabbed
say,
it. I saw it there and I grabbed it, and I'm like trying to explain it to Kathy's like, Clint, why are you even trying to explain this to me? Just buy it.
God, why can't my wife be like that? Not that
And
she's
then,
pretty supportive and that, but she's a lot more reserved with the budget with stuff like that.
but yeah, anyway, so talk about it. And so I opened it up, I took it out. It's like, holy shit, everything is still here. The pin set is still wrapped up in this like original sealed packaging. So I'm like, okay, I already have the digital game, so that I'm good. If I'm gonna play the game or keep playing it or whatever, like I have it on my system. I don't need to take the thing out. It's there. It's now good.
Stays in the box.
It's like my Scott Pilgrim over here, right? Like that right there. Like
Yeah.
it's gonna get played because I want to play Scott Pilgrim, but it's gonna stay in a box if I'm not playing it.
By the way, pointing to the background, one of my buddies watching our episode just randomly pinged me from work, and he's like, "Oh, I love Clint's background." I'm like, "Yeah, it's pretty sick," So anyway, kudos on your background. Somebody loved it.
Thank you.
So,
Much
anyways,
appreciated.
speaking of older things, and I guess not inbox. I kind of lost where my segue was going, but I discovered something today that I didn't know about Nintendo games. And the older games, like the first batch of games, were actually had a little adapter inside with the Famicom game inside. And it sounds like you already knew this, but it got me thinking, and I started looking at my collection to see what I have. And there's two easy ways to figure out if you have it or not.
Right.
And the first way is you look at the back of the cartridge; it has 5 screws instead of 3.
Okay.
And then the other way is the clips.
Yeah. I knew of the
So,
clips. I didn't know
but
about the screws.
yeah, 5 versus 3. But you can actually use that as an adapter to put whatever game you want in there, and it'll play in a NES. You're like, that's kind of neat. I never knew that. So I got checking some of the games I have. I have a handful like that. But I never really thought about it. Like if I'd known that years ago with my collecting and all the doubles, I probably would have made sure I got those versions over with with the earlier games.
Yeah.
But who knows how many are out there anyway? Like I didn't get that deep into it. I thought that was kind
No.
of neat.
It's very similar to like we were talking about with when the Saturn games are coming out, and then PlayStation games started coming out in full in the long boxes versus coming
Oh
out.
yeah, and you didn't know they came from Sega because Sony ran out of boxes. I forgot about that.
Out of the jewel cases.
I was big into that. That was when I was working at my first video game store at 16 years old, and Mega Power games.
You got an OG PlayStation game when it's the black disc, man. That's OG PlayStation games, because at some point they had stopped making the black discs and just started putting everything on a regular CD, right? So,
forgot about that. I have so many of those black things. God, I think at one point, I don't remember what game. Oh, when I worked at the game store, and we had like just so many crap games that were zeroing out or whatever, and it was the NHL games and stuff like that. If I remember.
Yeah.
Right, and we used them as coasters and stuff like that. It's so bad. But when you have like 100, well, I'm probably exaggerating, but dozens of NHL 96 or whatever it was.
Yeah. Shit. Good stuff. So, Steve, have you been watching anything or playing anything lately? You mentioned you were reading comic books when your time off. Are you caught up on?
I did play games, and I did. So I finally there was no distractions, so I could actually focus. So the big thing for me is I wanted to actually just sit down and play a game. So I started playing Just Cause because I wanted something new that I hadn't played. And I've played the other ones, but played that for a bit, and it was kind of cool. Kind of got bored. Then had a few beers in the evening when Kirsty went to bed. So I wanted to play something that was a little bit easier and can kind of just relax. And I ended up playing Tell Me Why. So I powered through that game. I finished that probably in 2 days. Like I played a few hours the first night and then a couple the next, or the Monday actually. I didn't play over the weekend because we were so busy. And then finished that off. And then with the comics is what I did. The big thing. Like I had a stack I brought with me like this that I had to power through. I didn't actually get through them all because there were so many. But I got caught up like on the Beast Wars side. I got caught up on Transformers Annual. I got caught up on He-Man, just a bunch of stuff. I still have to catch up on like I think it's Transformers War World or War. Like it's basically episode like 29, 30, 31.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
So I'm not caught up on that yet. That's where I left it.
The main line.
Main line. So that's where I left it because I was like, I want to be able to power through it and read it where I can join it. But I took a big dent out of that. There's a bunch of other stuff I wanted to read as well. Nice. But just random.
Nice.
What about you? What have you been reading and watching lately?
I haven't been watching anything. We're way behind on What If. We still have to watch 3. So we still have to watch the What If zombies and then everything after that. We finally watched the season finale of Brooklyn, series finale of Brooklyn, which hurt a little bit because that's one of our favorite shows. So, it's hard to watch. It's hard to watch one of your favorite shows end. Just like for us, it was Brooklyn, How I Met Your Mother, and Big Bang Theory. And then it's just like when Home Improvement ended, man. When I was a kid, Home Improvement ended. Yeah,
probably not.
That was the worst.
More power.
More power. So we finished that, but no, I haven't been watching much. I'm pretty caught up in the comics, as mentioned before. Right, my boss's cousin's my relative of my boss is the
I know where you're going
cover artist for the King comics that they just recently released. So I've been pushing back on my suppliers, Entertainment Inc. I'm like, no, man, don't give me the variant. I want the actual. I want the OG cover because I know.
Wasn't I there with you when you kind of went through that?
Well, that's So I'm just like, hey. So I sent them an email after. It's like, hey, man, like, what's going on? But yeah, and like, so what's really cool, and as you know, I'm a pretty big Ninja Turtle fan. They've been doing a Last Ronin comic, so like Eastman and Laird are on the comic, like writing on it, which is amazing. And what it is like all the shit that's going on in the current comics. They did like almost a what if. So like shit completely hits the fan. And Mikey is like now like fucking super intense. He's gone like super dark, like almost like take like Raph from the movie. Take Raph from the OG movie.
And that's the new Mike.
Multiply it by like 50, and that's the new Mike because he's older now and all that stuff. So anyway, so it's just it's a really cool story. And I was like, oh yeah, shit, Last Ronin. It was supposed to come out last week, blah, blah, blah. Like I was really excited for it. And then when we were there, when you and I went to go get it, they didn't put it in my file. So I emailed them. I was like, hey guys, like, do you have to reorder this? Because if they had to reorder, I would have just went to somewhere else and picked it up, right? Because I really like the story. And they're like, oh yeah, you need to tell them that it's there because it's oversized. It's like, you guys could have told me that because I would have read it. But anyways, so now I have to go to a comic book shop in the next couple of days to go pick it up because I haven't been there yet.
Which one do you go to?
Well, I just mean Entertainment Inc. My comic book shop.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, no, that's it. I mean, I've got a few. I'm not completely up to date on the Transformers comics and stuff like that. Dark Ages, the new Dark Ages storyline that's coming out from Marvel, it has been really cool. I mean, I only read the first issue, but I was like, this is a really cool story. Pretty much what it was. If anyone hasn't read it, or Steve, you might find it interesting. The Earth was built around a Titan, more or less, right? The Titan was put inside the Earth by the Celeste and stuff. You know,
this like a Unicron from Transformers Prime.
Yeah, kind of, right? But then, so this guy is trying to bust out. He starts waking up, trying to bust out of the core of the Earth. So obviously, the superheroes are trying to affecting the Earth, like causing earthquakes and disaster, right? So the superheroes are trying to save him. Pretty much, what ends up happening is he kills the superhero that's trying to stop him. They stop him, but they left like a wormhole open within the center of the Earth, and it's just been constant like EMP blasts through. So all the technology is gone. So it's like, so there's superheroes still around, but there's no technology because there's just a constant EMP blast going on. That just, you can't run technology. So Iron Man can't be Iron Man, right? Like just stuff like that.
Well, there's ways to shield against that and all that, but most infrastructure would not be like that. But military infrastructure now is all shielded against it. But I guess
we're talking universal EMP, not just like Earth EMP. We're talking like shit from another universe, man. We're talking wormhole EMP.
But anyways, I guess.
Well, I mean, it's comic books, so yeah, it's different.
Right. You know what? I didn't tell you what I was watching. Yeah, I forgot to mention this. Is Attack on Titans.
Oh yeah, so I remember you telling me that Emily was starting to watch it.
My old daughter liked that show, and so it's good. I like it. I have some things I poke holes at, you know, and kind of egg at her a bit, but at one point, because it's an anime, right? So there's a lot of drama on that. At one point, I was like 3 episodes in, and they still haven't done what they were supposed to be doing. I started fast forwarding the dialogue, and my daughter gives me a look, and I'm like, but it's been like 15 minutes and nothing's happened. Overall, it's pretty good though. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, it's one of my top animes that I've watched recently. Like I was saying, she's not quite there yet, but you could probably let your oldest watch Parasite. Parasite's a really good one. I think you'd get a good kick out of that one. I think I explained this last time on the show, but it's a parasite that tries to take over a dude, but he's able to stop the parasite from taking over his whole body, and it's just in his arm. So he talks to the parasite in his arm. So he's like trying to like be good and fight these other parasites that have attacked other humans that, you know, completely change their bodies and stuff. I don't know what the Blue Beetle is, Steve.
Maybe I'm getting the name wrong. From the Justice League. He has the suit.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Some similar like that. Yeah. But anyway, so that's a good one, but it's a little bit darker. But she's old enough. I mean, she could watch it.
And she likes starting to like want to watch horror and things like that. And you know, 2 years from now we'll be talking Clint, and she's gonna be this goth girl, all like go dark.
Anyway. Come on, man. Watching horror movies. Hey, if she wants to watch horror movies, more than welcome. I've got 2 movies that I watch. Trick or Treat, that's my Halloween movie, and Scary Stories, the Scary Stories movie. So I don't know if you remember the Scary Stories books.
I don't actually.
No? It's all like pretty much like urban legends and all that stuff that they put together and as a book. They put it out as a movie a couple of years ago. But those are my two. Those are my two Halloween movies that I go to every year. Well, I guess the
Nice.
Scary Stories movie is now more recent, but Trick or Treat's a good one. Let her
For
watch Trick or
me,
Treat.
I've been trying to do this forever, and my wife always puts the brakes on it. But I've been trying to watch Nightmare on Elm Street or Friday the 13th on
Yeah.
Halloween's.
Yeah.
And it's just like, no, we're not watching that with the kids. But I'm like, Emily, the oldest is almost there. She can handle it. I watched it when I was like 10.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And she's like, it was the 80s. It was different then. The parents didn't know what you were doing. I'm like, my dad watched it with me. Like,
Oh, yeah.
but yeah.
No, I know. No, that's actually now that we're on the 30th of September, so I will be into my Halloween mode of me tomorrow. So I will be installing Resident Evil Village so I can play that before Halloween and watch Trick or Treat and watch Scary Movie or Scary Story. Actually, I should watch Scary Movie too because that was an excellent. Those are excellent movies as well.
Yeah.
The Scary Movie, scary movies with
Yeah, I can't
the
wait till I
Wayne,
can change
the
gears
Wayne
from.
brothers.
Oh yeah. Anyway, I can't wait till I can change gears from watching It's a Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown to, Friday the 13th. Or God, man, even I can't think the name of the movie that we used to watch. The guy with all the nails out of his head covered.
Oh,
Not Halloween. That's Michael Myers. Who's
oh
that
my
guy?
God. Why would you like? I know who you're talking
I know.
about.
What the hell was his name, man?
Candyman.
No, you say it, I'll get it. It's just been so long.
Oh my
Been too kid
God.
friendly for too long now.
Yeah, I know. Well, so I was thinking about that movie earlier, not today, like earlier in the week, and now I don't remember. Oh my God. But I know who you're talking about. People who are watching for this long and or listening for us this long know who we're
All
talking
five
about.
of you.
Yeah. Thanks for listening the whole way through. Anyways, yeah, Steve, we said we want
Probably
to keep it
time to
short.
wrap up, eh?
Oh, yeah, my good sir. We're now at 40 minutes. So, hey, as always,
Seriously?
Steve, yeah, we're pretty close to that.
Jeez.
It's always good to catch up. Everyone, thank you for taking your time. If you've watched us all the way through, you know who I'm talking to, the few of you that watch us all this way and listen to us all the way. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. We are hopefully back to semi-normal on the recordings and the show. So stay tuned for some guests that we'll have or conversations. Hey, you know what? Halo Infinite comes out in 2 months from now. Maybe we'll have some conversations around that. We've got other games coming in. We got to get Steve's input on the new He-Man TV show, not the Masters in the Universe.
I have watched it, so
Exactly. And you know what? We can't just not have an episode and not talk about He-Man and or the Masters of the Universe on this. So I had to put that plug in there. Steve, good sir.
as always, keep collecting.
Keep gaming.
And
Keep
stay
safe.
Keep safe. How do we screw that up every time?